What's happening, travelers? Nissan Mosery, the traveling investor, and how's it going, babies? Say hello to Master Yoda. Where is he? Say hello to Emmett Smith, right? What's happening, everybody? And I think that is, that's the editor of Success Magazine. And this guy right there, he was the commander for SEAL Team 6. And there's my kids and all that. So, yeah, welcome to the family. What's happening? Well, we got another great show. My guest has not yet arrived. So, what are we going to talk about today? I was thinking that we could talk about difference between passive investing and active investing, right? And they're very different, very, very different. So first, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Jade PMC Property Management Company. If you need management of your short-term rentals, your multifamily, single-family homes, Jade PMC, www.jadepmc.com. And do you realize that it's actually shorter to say World Wide Web than www? World is one syllable. W is 2. So you're actually saying more when you're saying www. Why don't we just say World Wide Web? Interesting. Something to think about. Did you guys hear Biden's talk today? His little speech that he gave and what he said? I mean, the Ukraine was never really a republic or a democracy. Russia is Russia. But it's deeper than that. I mean, we all know about what's going on with Biden and his ties to Ukraine and why we're going there. So all the soldiers, if any, from our country, from other countries, from the NATO countries that are going to go and possibly lose their lives, this is because Biden was paid. And that's that on that matter. So if you're listening and you're in here, let me know where you're listening from. Well, actually, right now, it looks like it's just a couple of people. So, active investing versus passive investing. Passive investing is where you take. Well, let's start like this, right? How shall we start it? Well, you see, so how can I start it? Passive investing. What is passive investing and what is active investing? And is there a difference? Well, yeah, I believe there is a difference. Passive investing is where you go out and you have your job, you have your income, you have money saved on the side, and then you take that money and you invest it. And now your money is making money for you, right? You can give it to a financial advisor, financial planner. You can give it to your stockbroker. You can give it, you can find a real estate owner, operator, syndicator, and you can become involved in a syndication as a limited partner. Now, what is a limited partner? A limited partner is someone who comes into a partnership, into a syndication, and you invest your money as a passive investor. So you're kind of just taking it and you're saying, here, you're trusting someone and you're saying, I've seen your track record. I've seen everything that you want. And I'm going to invest with you. And then you let your money work for you. Now, it's awesome, guys. This is fantastic. So our guest has arrived. So let me introduce Howard Dekker, who is a multi-millionaire personal and financial coach that teaches people how to become financially free. But get this. He teaches you how to become financially free with a normal job. So if you have a job, he can show you how to become financially free. He travels the country in his RV visiting small town America and teaches all those who are willing to make small changes in their life so that one day they can become financially free. So let's have it. Let's welcome Howard Dekkers.
Hi, Nitsan. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Howard? Thanks for being here.
I'm doing fantastic. I'm in Naples, Florida today. It's about 80 degrees out and just having a ball.
That's awesome. I'm in Boca, so I'm right across
Oh,
the right across the peninsula from you.
cool. That's my hometown. That's my home base, Boca Raton.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Whereabouts in Boca?
East Boca. I live right downtown Boca. Have you ever, right next to Chops Lobster Bar and Lemongrass.
Oh
You
yeah,
walk
yeah, sure.
you walk out my front door and all the restaurants and everything I can just walk to. So it's a wonderful lifestyle.
That's fantastic. All right, and it's all about the lifestyle, isn't it?
At this point in life, absolutely. I mean, I'd like to say it was lifestyle by design, but once I became financially free, I figured it out from there.
Right. Absolutely. So share with us, Howard, who you were before. What was the moment of clarity? What was the incident? What was the crisis? What was the epiphany that you had that helped you now become financially free, multimillionaire, and take you to where you are today?
Well, I guess the thing that had most influence on my life was a book that I read right out of college. It was written by a gentleman who was born in 1983 and first produced in 1937. And the name of that book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Um, and I've read it 10 times. I
You
outlined it way back then. Yeah, there you
you mean
go.
that one?
Yeah. And
It's
now
the
they
Bible.
and now they have a new edition, which I love, and I'm reading it again, and it brings all the current modern day billionaire success stories, and shows them how they got to where they are. So it's really cool. But I was born in Detroit, Michigan, low income housing, six people in a two bedroom, probably a 900 square foot house. And my dad moved us when I was three to a suburb on the water. And it just so happened two streets over is where the wealthy people lived. And when I say wealthy, they had the big homes on the lake and they had every toy you could imagine. And that's where basically I grew up because all of my friends were on the island. And I kept seeing it was consistent in every home I went into. Every dad or mom owned their own business. So I knew right there that this is the lifestyle I wanted. So I knew that one day I was going to figure out how to own a business. So, um, right out of high school, I still wasn't motivated to go to college. And another big event that happened before Napoleon Hill was I was following my father because he was a factory worker and he was making good money. He was making $35,000 a year. That was a lot of money back then. And so I started doing the same thing. And I started buying all the fancy tools that the prototypers had. And my dad kept saying, "Why are you doing that? Go to school." And I didn't hear him until one day I was working on a machine and I cut my finger off. So I'm like 18 years old. I'm working a press and a machine came and all of a sudden two fingers were cut off. They saved one of them. Right there and then I knew, oh my God, what am I doing? And so
That's
I
not for
quit.
you.
And I went to college and I've owned a ton of different businesses. Um, the last one I sold 3 years ago for millions of dollars. Um, but so th- that's my story. I was just a hard worker. I had a job. I worked my butt off, and then once I didn't have a job, I had my own company. I worked eight to faint. I didn't get married till later on in life because there wasn't a girlfriend out there that could handle my lifestyle at the time because I would be there at 8 in the morning and I'd be there home at 9 or 10 at night. I wanted success so badly. So I finally found a woman who wanted to sit right next to me because she wanted success as bad as I did and married, had a family. Um, And now, what I'm doing is I'm traveling the country, you know, but before I go into another story, ask me some more questions. I'm talking too much.
No, no. Hey, we're here to listen to you, right? That's the
Uh,
whole
uh,
point. So, I mean, look, okay. So you've been wildly successful. What you said you wanted success badly enough, right? What part of success did you want badly enough? Was it the money? Was it the recognition, the respect, the freedom, the responsibility? Because success for many people is different, right? Some people
mhm,
view success as, you know what, I'm still alive. Wow, thank God, right? Some people
right.
view success how much money they have in the bank. Some view success as, you know what, I've raised my kids well. I've done this. But what was it about? What part of success was it that fueled you and your energy to continue moving forward?
I think one of the big things is my dad always, he really didn't like what he was doing, but he was providing for a family, and he always had an excuse for not owning a business. He always wanted to own a business, but he'd say, "I can't do it now. I have 5 kids. I can't take the risk." So I think I wanted to prove number one to my dad that I could build a business and that I could, you know, help my mom in any way I could. Maybe buy her a big car or buy her things. And that's really what I wanted. Um, but I also wanted to be able to have a big home like those people on the island. So I was, I wanted to prove to the world that I could do it. So I guess it was kind of, I was looking for respect.
Hmm.
I wanted to prove to my mom and dad that I could do it. And I just wanted to prove to myself and the world that I was good enough to be good enough in this capitalistic society and win. And winning was having a lot of money so that I could do what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, and how I wanted to do it. So that's really my definition of success. You asked me what's your definition of success. As you know, I decided to come out of retirement and teach personal freedom, financial freedom to people. And the first thing I let everybody know is the beginning of our class is I want each of you to come up with your own definition of financial freedom. Okay, what does financial freedom mean to you? And to me, the easiest definition, it's the ability to do what you want, when you want, and how you want. I don't
Absolutely.
have a boss. I don't have to ask anybody for anything, but I have enough money coming in every month that I could pay for my existing lifestyle.
Hmm.
And then I could just do whatever I want to do. Um, so that's really, I didn't know that, you know, I implemented my plan for financial freedom in my late 30s. And my dad, who never made more than $35,000 a year, was smart enough to save 10% of everything he earned from 20 years old to 55. And then he retired. And my dad had a plan that he would automatically invest in a brokerage account. And um, every month he would put money in, buy more stocks, whatever. Today, my dad, that he has put in a total of $122,000. It's worth $3 million, and it sends him $85,000 a year. And my dad doesn't have to do anything. My dad hasn't done anything for 40 years, and he's making almost 3 times what he was making when he was busting his butt at Chrysler Corporation. So I didn't listen to my dad in my 20s and 30s. I was just gung ho, building businesses, making money, and my paychecks were going up and up and up. And I was making two, three, 400,000 a year, but I was spending everything. I wasn't doing what my dad was doing. And my wife kept complaining, saying, "Look it, we're not saving anything for the future." And my argument was, we don't have to, because I'm going to build this successful business and I'm going to sell it for millions of dollars. But then I started thinking about what my wife was saying, and she was right. what happens if the laws change and my business goes bankrupt? I'm going to be broke when I'm 60 because I spent it all on stuff. So in my late 30s, I started a plan very similar to my father's, and I had a couple of $1 million, more than a couple of $1 million in my financial freedom plan before I sold my business. So if you take the plan and then you take what I made from selling the business, I was financially free. So once I sold the company, I became retired, and I was retired for a year, not doing a whole heck of a lot, but I was bored out of my tree and I needed to do something. And that's when I came up with the idea to put a PowerPoint together. First thing I did is I went to the Napoleon Hill Foundation to see if they had a Think and Grow Rich for teenagers, which they don't. And so what I decided to do is put a PowerPoint presentation together that would teach my kids how to be multimillionaires, my dad's program. But before I did the first presentation about 3 years ago now, I told my kids, I want you to invite your friends over and tell them that your multimillionaire dad is going to teach them how to become millionaires. So there were 10 kids in my living room. I did it on my big screen TV, and it blew me away how excited they were. But what blew me away more than anything is I couldn't believe they didn't know how money grew. They didn't know anything about how to become financially free. And so that's when the light bulb went off. And I decided, my God, I'm going to put a course together and then I'm going to teach people my dad's and my plan on how to become financially free. And anybody who has a job can do it. So I know I'm getting a little long winded here, but
No, that's awesome. That's beautiful. A lot of people that are listening now, and once it's uploaded to the different podcast stations, and people will be listening to it. This is something that is life changing for
absolutely.
for the people that are out there that have a job, right? Even for the entrepreneurs, right? It doesn't
Right.
matter. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, if you work for yourself, or if you work for a big corporation, a small business. What you're saying is that the program, the process that you're taking people through can help them become financially free. And that's the name of the game, right? That's why we live in this country.
Absolutely.
That's what it's here. Right? That's what it's all about, right? Being
Absolutely.
being able to go out there and to experience life and to enjoy and create memories.
Right. Absolutely. Unfortunately, 78% of the people in our country are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's totally unnecessary. They don't understand. They have almost everybody has $200 to $500 a month in their checkbook that they could be putting in their financial freedom plan, and they don't know it. And
Mhm.
that's one of the things. The first thing that I do is I teach them how money grows. So if they got their money in a savings account, get it the hell out of there and put it in a vehicle that earns at least 10%. That way, that money will double. And let me give you an example. This is a great example. And I run across students that have 40, 50,000 in a savings account. Here's a good number. If a person understands how money grows, let's say they have $10,000 sitting in a savings account. In in 35 years, um, that 10,000, if invested at 10%, will be worth 320,000. 10,000 will grow into 320,000. If it stays in a savings account, it will take 2,400 years to double. So the issue is all of these people living paycheck to paycheck, they don't understand that you don't have to save $1 million to become a millionaire. You just need to save 100 a month or 200 a month or whatever we can figure out and have it automatically come out of the checkbook, go into your financial freedom plan, which we set up in class. And that financial freedom plan will grow your money to millions of dollars. And you will not have put in hardly any of that. And just to give you a quick example, if a 20-year-old starts a financial freedom plan, just $95 a month going into uh, their financial freedom plan, and we're going to put that in index funds that earn 10%, they will have invested $51,000 in by the time they're 65. It will be worth $1,004,000. And if the person doesn't start till they're 40 years old, they still can become a millionaire, but they'll have to invest more. They have to invest $754 a month to be a millionaire at 65, and they will have put 226,000. So everybody who has a job, I can help you find $200 to $500 a month to put in your financial freedom plan. And if you will put 500 a month, and I'll find it for you, in 30 years, you'll have invested $180,000, and it can grow to $1.1 million. So the money's there. And I'm not going to go into it right now unless Nissan asks me to give an example of how I can find almost everybody
Go for it.
almost $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want it? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
What
Absolutely. Share, please.
what we have not been taught is money mindfulness. What happens is, let's say we're making 50 grand a year. We want all these things, so we just spend it. And then we start making 60,000 a year. We spend it on more things, 100,000 a year, 200, 300. And I was one of those people in my 20s and 30s. We spend it. So what we need to understand is, if we look at what we're spending, we can find the money. And here's the perfect example. Starbucks is one of the most successful companies on the planet today. There are tons of people out there that are going to Starbucks every day, 5 days a week, and they're spending $5 on Starbucks. That equals you're giving them $100 a month of your money. So what I'm challenging people to do, you can still go to Starbucks, but cut it in half. And now you're still going to be giving Starbucks $50 a month. But what we're going to do is we're going to set up an automatic investment program where that other $50 is going to come out of your checkbook, and it's all automatic, set up once. It's going to go into your financial freedom plan. I love Fidelity. And then it's going to be automatically invested in index funds. That $50 a month will grow to $113,000 at 10% in 30 years. So I just found you $113,000. Now let's take it to another level. A car payment. You don't know how many people have $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 a month car payments. And when you ask them why, well, because I can afford it. So this is what I want them to do. Let's say they have a $650 car payment. I want you to sell that car, and I want you to buy another car for $325 a month. Instead of giving the bank $650 a month of your money, you're going to give the bank $325, and you're going to take the other $325. It's automatically going to be invested. In 30 years, you'll have $740,000. So between 2 cups of coffee and getting a sensible car, I just found you $856,000. And I have a whole list of those things, of little things that you can change that will almost guarantee you to meet that definition of financial freedom, which mine was to be able to do what I want, when I want, and how I want, and have all my bills paid every month. So that's kind of what I do, and I'm loving it. Traveling the country doing it too.
That's great. That's great. And absolutely, I used to spend money at Starbucks, and I was always complaining that, to me, their coffee was crap. And I said, well, why am I still going? Because they're the only one that actually makes a good, makes a cappuccino that you can take, or, a specialty coffee. And I stopped. I went and I bought myself a French press. At first I bought myself my own espresso machine. So I was making espressos and cappuccinos at home, but that machine kept breaking. And I said, well, why do I need to spend so much money? And I got a French press. We buy the grounds. And now, like you said, I'm saving that $10 on a daily basis that I would go, maybe even sometimes 2 times a day to a
Right.
Starbucks,
Right.
right? And now, oh, it's the coffee, and oh, let me get a muffin, or let me get a sandwich, and let me get this, and let me get, and you're walking out of Starbucks between $10 to $20 on a daily basis,
Hmm.
right?
Oh
And
yeah, it's and that's just one example. I
mhm,
mean, it's like Amazon. Oh my God. Amazon is killing a lot of us. Thank God I like Amazon and I order on Amazon, but thank God I can afford it.
mhm,
I've already gone through the system and come out at the end shining like a bright star. Okay, but most of us aren't there.
mhm,
Most of us are trying to get there.
right.
Another great thing and about the people who pay attention to what I'm doing is it's amazing what you can do when you have money. And I'm not by no means wealthy to no means. I'm not, but it opened up so many doors to me. Now I don't have everything in my financial freedom plan at Fidelity. I was able to buy some real estate. I own 3 Walgreens now, properties, and I'm cash flowing enough from 3 Walgreens that my financial freedom plan just keeps growing and I don't have to live off of it. I never would have done that had I not had a plan that was growing. So it's really wonderful when you finally make the decision and you finally get it together and you say, enough. I'm going to start my my plan. I'm going to, and in the class, we say, look at if you do this much a month, you'll have this much in 10 years, this much in 20 years, this much in 30 years. And, that's at averaging at 10%. But, the last couple of years, we've averaged 20 and 30% growth.
Mhm, mhm,
Now, this year, we might grow negative this year, but that's okay because one of my modules I go over the history of the stock market and why you shouldn't be afraid of it.
mhm,
Like we're in times right now, everybody's looking at their stocks going, "Oh my God, oh my God." And you know what I'm doing? I'm looking at my stocks and looking for great companies that are getting affected by this and I'm buying them. And basically I'm buying these great companies on sale. So people don't have to be afraid of that. Over the last 100 years, the stock market has averaged 10%, and that's down years and up years come together. And so when a person gets out of my class, I really believe I've just touched on everything. They don't have to be experts, they just need to know a little bit. I don't teach them puts. I don't teach them options. I don't teach them complicated stuff because they don't need to know that. They just need to have a job and set up their program. Now, for the people who take the class, they also have access to me one on one, no matter where I'm at. All they do is hit on the membership page, they hit a little button and they can schedule a 15-minute calendar Zoom where if they're having any issues or they got questions or whatever, they got me one on one. So
that's awesome.
yeah,
That's fantastic. And thank you for doing that, right? We need more
hey,
people out there showing everyone how to become financially free because so many people are stuck behind the desk, they're stressed out, they're not enjoying life. And to be stuck behind a desk for 40 years building somebody else's empire and then not getting anything out of it, right,
right,
is a very sad thought. It's a very sad story.
yeah,
I traveled for many, many years. I was a big hippie and I was traveling the world for 7 years. And I really learned and experienced and saw that there's so much beauty, there's so much adventure, so much to experience in life on this planet. We all need to have the ability to go out there and to enjoy it and to experience it. Now, I'm not saying you got to go to India and climb, the Himalayas or go to Tibet or go to the deserts or whatnot. But if you just want to travel around in your area, across the country or something like that, spend time with family, it's super important. And it's so sad that this is not taught in school.
I know.
You know,
It's
I teach
crazy.
people. I teach people about syndications, about real estate investing, raising capital from other people so that they can, get passive income as well. And it's unbelievable that people don't know that this exists, and they're not privy to it. And I see what I have 2 teenage girls, and they're in high school, and I see what they're being taught, and I'm going, why are they wasting their time? It's a shame. There should be a class for real estate, a class for finances, a class for, how money grows, right? This should be curriculum in school today.
Absolutely. I couldn't believe, after investigating, when I finally decided, oh my God, I don't have to be bored anymore. I have another passion. I have another thing to work at. And so I started, it took me like a year and a half to put the course together, the Evergreen course. It amazed me that 78, this is a figure. I mean, if you Google, you're going to see this pretty consistent figure. 78% of the people in America, the wealthiest country in the world, are living paycheck to paycheck. And there's no need for it. It's not hard to become financially free.
Right.
So I agree with you all the way. Sometimes I think the government is purposely not teaching us, and they're purposely trying to keep us broke so that
Sure.
they can give us money so that we vote for them. And that, if that's true, and I'm not saying it is, but I keep hearing that, but it's like, I guess I wouldn't put it past them.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Howard, man, this is awesome. Thank you for being on the show. How can people get in touch with you to learn more?
Okay, it's real simple. First of all, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, just my name, Howard Dekkers, Dekkers. But to learn more about me and where I'm going with the course, and how to sign up for the course, howarddekkers.com. So all they got to do is go to my name, all one word, howarddekkers.com. And everything is there. Plus, I have a free half-hour training that I promise you that even if you don't take the course, you will get enough out of that free half-hour training to get yourself on the right track. So
Awesome.
howarddekkers.com.
There it is. It's right there. Awesome, Howard. Thank you so much for being here. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep changing people's lives. We appreciate it. We thank you for it. And, keep on, giving that positive vibe and that good energy out there. We appreciate it. Thank you for being on the show.
Well, thank you, Nissan. It was great talking to you, meeting you.
You too. You too. Well, when you're back in Boca, let's get together.
I'll see you in Boca.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. My office that I'm in right now is on Federal and Yamato, the Sanctuary Towers, the glass towers on Federal.
Oh, I'm totally familiar with that. It's 5 to 10 minutes away from me. I'm definitely gonna reach out when I get back in town.
Yeah, please do. Please do. I look forward to it. Enjoy your travels.
Thank you, Nissan.
All right, travelers. This is Nissan Mosery, the traveling investor, and we will see you next week somewhere on Spaceship Earth. Take care and be well. Bye-bye, guys.